Alright, so this is a Bellator MMA Onslaught tutorial video that I'm making for you guys because I noticed a lot of people aren't really getting everything about the game, so just wanted to show you guys what's up. And hopefully you'll learn some things from it and kick people's butts. Alright, so kind of like Tekken, it's a left punch, right punch, left kick, right kick game. So, you hit X, it does left punch, Y, it does a right punch, A does a left kick, B does a right kick. And there's move around, you left stick moves you forward, back, left, right. You can sort of flick the stick and you'll do a side step or forward dash, back dash. As you see I'm doing right here. Sometimes it's pretty good for dodging strikes. It's timing based, so if you do it in the wrong direction or at the wrong time, the guy's still gonna hit you. Okay, also left trigger is a block. Hold it, you'll stand still, and unlike most fighters, it blocks everything. As you can see, the guy's kicking my leg, and he still blocks it. So it makes it pretty easy. We also have running attacks. You double tap and hold forward, and your guy will run towards him. Is it good for knockdowns? Sort of catch your opponent off guard. You could do any strike from run, so you hit left punch, right punch. It'll do different strike for while you're running. Also, there's you can do running takedowns too with the right stick down. Those are cool for if the guy's blocking and you still want to deal some damage. Alright, so the next part is stamina flash KO system. Basically determines a lot on how you play this game. If you notice, every strike that I'm doing right now takes off a little bit of stamina. And if you throw your punches too much, you get your stamina really, really low, a guy can submit you. Or if it's really, really low, you'll start to flash red, as you'll see right here. And all it takes is one punch and boom, you're knocked out. So you got to watch what you're doing when you're playing this game. Otherwise, you will get knocked out fairly easily. Alright, so next part is striking, and strikes. All the different strikes seem to have different rules. So if you hit a guy in the head, you'll notice it's doing quite a bit more damage than if you hit the dude in the body. But if you hit him in the body, it's taking stamina from him, which is good in case you want to submit your guy, work him later on. And then leg shots seem to not really do that much damage, but if the guy is blocking and moving at the same time, you can kick him in the leg and sort of open him up for attacks and still do damage. And also it seems like if you saw like his block sort of got broken, that seems to happen more with leg shots. So something to think about. Alright, so this next part is the Bellator moment. If you've seen in the how to play, it says press L1, and to do a Bellator moment while you guys stunned, you'll do one of these, a Bellator moment. You have to make sure that, the stun is basically when you see the camera slow down and the guy sort of waves back and all that junk and like that, and you hit L1, boom, Bellator moment. It does a ton of damage. Pretty simple. Alright, so we have also feints that you can do in the game. You just throw a strike and hit block right after, it'll throw a feint. I'll get into that a little bit more later. We also have they also have the swaying in this game, so you can sway and you can lean back, and the guy will never be able to hit you in the head. You'll still be open for body shots and leg shots and takedowns as well, but it's like easier than parrying, and you can lean in it for a while if you're afraid of timing certain things. You can do strikes from all these different sways as well. There's a few that are unique, and then you can do some of your basic moves from these. All right. Next part is the ground game. Right stick down to go for a takedown to take your guy to the ground. Right stick up is always get up no matter what grappling position you're in. Also, to block these takedowns, you'll want to hit right stick down to block it. You're going to have to time it. You can't just hold it. And when you take a guy to the ground, you'll want to pound him out, obviously. So left punch, left kick, right kick. The kick buttons usually are to the body. And so even if you're in full mount, because you can't kick a guy in the mount, you'll kick him in the body, or you'll punch him in the body. Then you can do submissions from the top, as you can see. One thing you'll notice is the stamina, the way that your stamina is affects submissions. So I'll pound on this dude for a little bit and drain my stamina really, really low, so that when I finally submit this dude, you'll see in a second. So when I go for the submission, my bar is really, really, really low, and his is pretty high because of the high stamina that he had. So you always want to pay attention to the amount of stamina you have when you go for a submission, or pretty much when you're on the ground in general, because the guy will probably go for a submission. Another thing you'll notice is the amount of damage that you do from each position. So as you see him in side mount, each attack did a little bit of damage. Now in mount, I'm doing a little bit more damage, and then we go to back mount, and yeah, that's like a quarter of his life off of one hit. But it's pretty easy to block. Just like stand blocking, you just hold left trigger and you'll block everything. Another thing too is when you're on the ground, like if you're on top, you can submit from pretty much any position. But if you're on bottom, you can only get up from those positions or transition, and you can only submit from the guard. So if you see this dude, boom, you'll throw a submission out and escape it. All right, so this next part is the clinch work. Clinch is sort of like grappling, but standing up. You can do a few things from clinching. You can do damage to your guy, and you can take him down to the ground. So right stick forward is to grab a dude in the clinch. Right stick forward while in the clinch will transition. Up will escape or release the guy, depending upon whether you're an attacker or a defender. Another thing is when you're grabbing with the clinch, it seems like there's a few attack invincibility frames. So as you can see, like I would go through the guy's strike as I was trying to grapple him. Yeah, so you can, block strikes in the clinch as well, regular strikes. You can go for takedowns as well. Takedowns are pretty simple. And like I said, right stick is the transition. If you have a wrestler guy like Michael Chandler or Joe Warren, these guys will, they can actually transition into a back clinch and do a lot more damage from those positions. Another thing too is some guys like Marlon Sandro have submissions from the clinch. So, you can jump for a flying triangle or a flying armbar from various positions. All right, so we'll go over the feints a little bit more. Like I said before, you hit a strike and then you hit block immediately after, and you'll go into a feint. So on the surface, they look sort of weak, but if you're going against a guy who likes to parry you quite a bit, they can be pretty good. So as you see, this guy's parrying my attacks quite a bit, but if I know he's going to parry, I can throw a feint, and you saw he'll go into this little reaction, and from that reaction, you can follow up with strikes if you recognize it and you're fast enough. So let's try to do it again. All right, feint and then follow up. All right, so the last little trick I want to show you is the knees in this game. So knees have grab invincibility. So if a guy's trying to grab you, you can just throw a knee and you'll win regardless. Some of the knees in this game will stun the guy if he's trying to grab you. So here, let me restart so I can get some help. So you have to time it correctly, and then obviously if you stun the guy, Bellator moment. Yeah, we knocked out Marlon Sandro. Another thing too is Marlon Sandro or the BJJ guys have a special Bellator moment that can end the match at any moment, basically. So if you stun the guy, Bellator moment, it's a submission. So if you perform it at a good time, you can end the match pretty easily. And that's the end of the video.